Hey guys, it's Richard Butcher here, Cornerstone Master's Education Program. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about my final project. As I said, I'm Richard Butcher. I currently teach at Kenilworth Hills Middle School. Kenilworth Hills this past year has made a large commitment to students as we are taking on a new curriculum system, but it's not really a curriculum, it's kind of just a different way of doing school. So it's called the RISC program. It's the basically the main differences are you have to show proficiency before you can go on to the next grade. So the students, they might stay in, like for math, they might be in 4th grade, but in reality they might be in 6th grade. Things like that. It's kind of a tricky system and we're still trying to figure it out, but we did vote to take it on, so you can check. I'll put a link to the RISC website in the video place and you can check it out. But yeah, it's pretty interesting. It should be cool. I think it's going to be really good for the students. I think kind of puts the ball more in the students and the parents' court as far as their success. Takes a little bit of puts a lot of pressure on the teachers as far as creating these things for the kids to do, but it takes a little bit off as far as like our job of making them learn. It's going to be their responsibility to learn, which it is now, but people don't see it that way, so so that's the RISC program. So a big thing with the RISC is technology. So what we had to do was go to a one-to-one technology format. Now last year my school did a iPad pilot, so about 100-ish 7th graders got iPads, which I mean it went okay. I gotta be honest, I didn't love the iPads. They're kind of gamey. You can get a lot of games on them. You can get a lot of stuff like that. So kids aren't always, they didn't really take them seriously, I didn't think. So this year, for the one-to-one, all students at Kenilworth Hills, 6th through 12th grade, are going to be getting Chromebooks. So these are pretty nice. They're instant fire up, kind of like an iPad is. So this is turned off, turn it on, boop, it fires right up, ready to take my username, password. So they're pretty cool little devices. They're kind of neat. If you haven't seen Chromebooks at all, they're really inexpensive, which, I mean, well, I guess they're not inexpensive, but they're a lot cheaper than an iPad is, which makes them super awesome for schools. About $250 for this thing. I think it's $250. I mean, I think schools might be able to get a better deal when they're buying, 1,000 of them or whatever. And so they are an internet-based system. So these don't have an operating system in the way that the Mac does that I'm taking this video on. I was going to take it on the Chromebook, but I wanted to show the Chromebook, so. But anyway, these Chromebooks are, they only have a 16 megabit hard drive. Some of that's taken up by the Chrome OS system, which is essentially they can do a few things offline, like you can work on papers, things like that, and then they'll sync up automatically to your Google Drive. So it really takes advantage of all the Google Drive, Google Docs. On Google you can do spreadsheets, you can do PowerPoints, you can do all kinds of stuff on the Google Drive, and so your Gmail, all this stuff is linked right in there. So with my school taking that on, and all the students getting them, I decided to do a handbook in the Chromebook. So a handbook on the Chromebook. So my school sent these home with us for the summer, teachers to kind of use them and get a better grip on them. So luckily this project has given me an opportunity to use my Chromebook quite a bit. I did the entire handbook, which I will also link in the I'll link it, you'll find it, sorry. Anyway, but anyway, I'll put a link to my handbook that I created on Google Docs using my Chromebook solely. So it's kind of fun. I mean, they're kind of a cool little device. Essentially they work the same as a regular computer. It's just that they work hooked up to the internet. So you can get apps for them, which are really just kind of like bookmarks to web pages. So you can have your students do, like, all right, kids, you're going to want to download this app, but it's not an app in the sense that it is with an iPad. It's more of just a bookmark to a web page, and so you can have all your students go to this web page and do something, watch a video, whatever, what have you. You can do a flipped classroom really easy. I mean, the amount of technology that we're putting into our school is going to be really great. So I thought that doing a handbook would help my understanding. It would also allow me to distribute my handbook to my coworkers and also show it to students that are having trouble. The handbook mostly covers general use and the apps, how to get to the apps. There's kind of a Chrome web store, kind of like the App Store. So it's pretty neat. It's got a huge educational section. It's got a huge games and everything else. So if you get a chance to look at the handbook, please do. It's pretty much finished right now at this point. I'm adding little small things here and there, but yeah, as far as that, I mean, if you've used a computer before, you can use a Chromebook. It's just a couple things that you have to understand are a little bit different. So, yeah, they're really good. So then also with the handbook, I included a PD in my paper. So the PD is essentially, it's really kind of a simple PD, but I think it'd be really good to give to the teachers. So essentially what it is first PD, so it's going to be 2 PDs, one right in the beginning of the school year. If I was doing this, it'd be right in the beginning of the school year, and then one probably after the first marking period. So first PD would just cover general use of it. It would just go over, apps, have the teachers sit in their PLC groups, so professional learning communities, if your school doesn't do those. So they're going to sit in professional learning communities. Each group is going to have a time to find apps. You're going to show them where the apps are. You show them how to log in. Show them how to, just kind of go over the computer like I did. Talking about that it's an internet-based machine, and that's kind of the way technology's going. Everything's in the cloud now, which is kind of handy. I mean, there's been times when I needed to access my handbook when I was at the coffee shop. Didn't have my Chromebook with me, but I had my laptop, so I was able to access my Google Drive and look at something I had done or transferred over into my paper. So there are some things that are a little tricky with it. Google Docs is still a little weird if you're moving paper, especially with my Mac, because we don't have Microsoft on those. So switching that over, trying to do my Google Docs into a Pages document didn't work super well. I had to do some formatting stuff, but it's kind of be expected. If you're working 100% in Google Docs, I wouldn't think there'd be a problem at all. But I did notice like a couple times, I switched it to a PDF and it moved stuff around, like bigger gaps in places and stuff, just because the PDF format's different. So there are some formatting things you have to deal with, but that is to be expected with any machine. So, anyway, with the PD, we cover all that kind of stuff, kind of like what I'm doing here. Have the teachers look for apps, and open it up to questions, really give everybody an opportunity to play with the machine. So that's your first PD. Second PD, what I would do is I would have try to get one teacher from each PLC. So, math, so professional learning community would be like the math teachers. 6th grade teachers at my school are all one big PLC. And then there's, the specials like I am. I teach Woods, so I'm in with the gym teachers and the art and Spanish. So, and then language arts, whatever. Get one person from each one of these PLCs to present a lesson plan that they've done using the Chromebook, using apps, whatever, what have you, and have them present that to the group. So that would be about 6 presenters. Really it'd open up to questions, really get people, getting used to using these. So after the first marking period, it would be a good time for the second one. Everybody's kind of getting the flow of things. Using the technology in the classroom, as we learned last year with the iPads, is just a little bit tricky. You have to be ready to handle some classroom management things. Kids want to play games. You're better off just kind of letting them have some games, kind of enjoy it. If you've got 5 minutes into the class, tell them they can play games on it. If you're just burning a couple minutes, like, okay, you can play a game on your iPad right now, but you can only play it when I'm telling you, or you can do this on your Chromebook right now, but only when I'm telling you can, If you try to fight it 100%, it just doesn't work. We learned that last year. It just doesn't work to tell them no on everything. The kids will just do it anyway, or they'll take it home, they'll have it on there, and they'll be playing it in the hall, kids were gaming on their way to class last year, walking. They were walking down the hall like this, So they're going to enjoy it, and, they say it burns out. I don't know. I didn't see it burn out too bad last year with iPads, but it does a little bit, and I think with the Chromebook being more of a computer-shaped device and the ability to close it, I think students will take it a lot more seriously. I've heard it said that Apple products aren't really for creating, especially like iPads. Well, Apple computers are, but Apple iPads, things like that, they're not really for creating. They're for viewing things. So you can create movies on them, but that's about it. Documents, you got to buy a separate keyboard. So this has got a nice keyboard. It works good. I've been typing on it. It's kind of a smaller device. As you can tell, it's it's pretty small, man. I think it's only 11-inch screen, 11.4 inches, I believe. Yeah, so I think kids will take it more seriously because it is more of a computer-shaped device. So it doesn't look like something that they just game with and play with. So that's essentially my project. Just been working on it, trying to get it done now. So doing a couple of days, and good luck to everybody. And it's been great going through this Masters with everybody. And just thank you for watching my video, and have a good night. So thank you.